It's really unfair for people that don't know this act. The biggest problem for expats and Filipinos about hospitals in the Philippines.
They're doing the Republic Act for the people. Welcome to our YouTube channel.
My name is Esmi.
It's me, Roger,
And welcome to Roger&Ismi Vlogs. So today's subject, the biggest problem for expats and Filipinos about hospitals in the Philippines.
Before we start, again, salamat sa inyong pagigugma ug pagsuporta sa among channel.
Thank you so much for your love and support, guys. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell for new uploads or new videos. So as an expat, you really need to know the amenities of the country that you'll be moving.
Yes, and you have to find a place or city which you will stay close to the hospital.
That's true, because we cannot foretell if we would be healthy in the next year.
Yes, and you have to know if that hospital has these amenities or equipment that you want to.
That's true. We have good doctors here in the Philippines, good nurses. The only lacking is the equipment and the facilities.
That's correct, guys. And we know we have doctors, nurses working abroad.
That is true. But the only thing is, if you are living here, can the hospital really help you with your problem? That's the main question.
True. And now, why is the biggest problem for foreigners and Filipinos about hospitals in the Philippines?
It is a big problem indeed, because we're talking about health. We're talking about life itself. So let's go ahead and talk about this Republic Act that we have in the Philippines. You need to done your research about this, guys. You need to be thorough with this Republic Act, because most of the time hospitals would not tell you about this,
or even not informing you that there's an act of not detaining a patient.
Yes, so let's go ahead and read it. So this Republic Act is 9439, otherwise known as an act prohibiting the detention of patients in hospitals and medical clinics on grounds of non-payment of hospital bills or medical expenses. Why are we talking about this, guys? Because we have one subscriber that had an issue about paying the medical bills.
Yes, and even us, we experienced that before.
That's
right?
true. It's really true.
And that time we don't have like a knowledge that there's an act that we can go out even without paying the bills. But you need to comply their rules and restrictions.
Yes, it really depends on what type of hospital are you in. So say for example, you're in a private hospital. So a private hospital has an owner. So they would follow the rules and restrictions. So each hospital that is a private hospital, they have different types of rules.
Yes. So in our experience before, we try to ask the rules and restrictions how to like go out, right?
Yes.
So the hospital informed us that you have to pay the 50% of the amount, and then half of it you have to make sure that you have something to give as a collateral.
It needs to have a collateral, because if you don't provide it, you cannot go out in the hospital.
Yes.
That's what we experienced with Haley when she had a seizure. And of course, we were thinking if we stayed in the hospital, it would just make our bill higher and higher. And since she was already okay after 3 hours, then we decided to go out right away.
Yeah, that's true. So now what we did, since we don't have a full amount of money to pay the bills, then we borrow money from my parents.
Yes. they were saviors at that time. So that's what you experience in private hospital, because they really are strict when it comes to the rules and restrictions, and they would follow it. So for public hospitals, we experienced that when I was in labor with Haley too. So public hospital, most of them, you can certainly say that there's a Republic Act 9439, which you cannot detain a patient. But most of the time in public hospitals, most of people that are staying there are people coming from the province that they don't know that Republic Act. Some of them are illiterate, and most of the people there or the employees there, they don't really tell you about this act.
Yes, and this is happening since before, that they will detain the patient or even like a dead body, right?
Yes.
So they will detain it. They will discharge the patient if he or she can pay the whole amount.
Yeah, some of them would ask if they would have a general insurance. And if you say that, oh, I don't have a general insurance, oh, you need to process one so that you would be discharged. That's how they process it, so that they can get money from that general insurance. It's like business coming from them, both of them actually.
Yeah, that's true. So they will always think about the benefits that they can get from the patient. So let's say, for example, if they cannot pay the whole amount, then they will go with the insurance.
Yes. There are hospitals that would say upfront that, or there is a Republic Act 9439 that we cannot detain you. You would just go to the head office and ask for a promissory note. Yeah, promissory note, and you need to have a co-maker.
Co-maker, or it's like a mortgage.
Yeah, a mortgage. You really need to have a co-maker that would acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very important. But they didn't follow the act.
Yeah, they don't really follow the rules and restrictions, guys. Like most of them would just say, oh, do you have this general insurance? If you don't, we need to process it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how they deal with it.
Yeah, what about there's no insurance? So it's a big problem for poor Filipinos.
Yeah, poor Filipinos and the illiterate. Because most of them would be just thinking that, oh, how can I deal with this? How can I be discharged? Because most of us don't want to stay in the hospital.
Yeah, that's true. Because every day the amount or the bills they have to pay will increase. And also, reason why they don't want to go to the hospital, because they're afraid of paying the high bills.
That's true. And also, even though you're not sick or you have just a mild sickness, you would be having more sickness there in the hospital because you are prone to people that has viruses, different types of viruses.
Yeah, that's correct. And other thing also, poor Filipinos will try their best to find money in their home. They're trying to find or borrow money from their friends or families or relatives in order for them to pay the bills, because they do not know this Republic Act.
That's true. And most employees would just try to check if they would really find the money. If they would see that the patient would not really do anything, then they would try to assist them and say that there is a Republic Act. You can just go to the head office to find this letter or to file this letter.
Yeah. So they should do that because they're doing the Republic Act for the people. Not just for rich, not just for poor people, but for everyone.
That's true. But it's really unfair for people that don't know this act. Because we're talking about people that doesn't have money at all. And they are being tricked by their own citizen in order for them to give money.
Yeah. So if you are here in the Philippines and who knows, or you might encounter this in the future, or maybe your Filipinous relatives encounter this problem. So you already have knowledge that this Republic Act still exists here in the Philippines.
Yes, and you need to search it thoroughly, guys. Really check the full details of this Republic Act because we're just giving you the idea of it.
Absolutely. So I think that's all for today's video, and we hope this is really informative. And thank you so much for watching till the end, and see you in our next video.
No hate,
Just love.
love.
Bye.